I'm going to be using this post cluster, and this is the only part I didn't design myself. So this is a pre-made post cluster, but it fits and it works, and I've trimmed it so it took a little off here so it fits right down here. I have a little issue with the front F, but I'm gonna fix that later. It's not gonna be a problem. So solder this on, prep it with a little Tix flux. And I probably need quite a lot of solder in there. Let's go for this much. There's a little dry spot here. So now I'll just wait it out and let the solder harden up. Just try as much as I can to get an even distribution of the flux. And these dark spots, which is burnt flux, I just want that out because it can create a little pocket of air or dirt underneath, and the solder won't be as strong as if it's all good. Now just let it dry. This is where I want the post cluster placed, exactly there, but this is a very big surface that I have to heat up, and the tube of the cone is going to be quite hot, so I predict I'm probably gonna lose this post because it's not too good, it's not too well soldered in the first place, and the heat is probably gonna make that fall off, but okay, it's not a problem, it's easy to fix later. Now I just want to get the post all soldered good and right in place, so let's start. As you can see, I'm just heating it up, just lying on my leather surface. I probably should have used a fire brick for placing that underneath, but hey, I'm not using that much heat, so I think I can control it. Okay, so it's really nice there. It needs a little up here. Yes, it came now. Good. And I think it's done. There's a little leak right there. I'm gonna fix that. Just put it on a little flux. I can just redistribute some of that too much solder up there to go down here. I can make that work, but the rest is really good. Very pleased with that. So that's good. And yeah, what do you know, the post moved. You can see it just slipped off there, but like I said, it's not a problem. I kind of knew it was gonna happen, so now I just hope I can get that excess solder to melt and find its way back in here without the entire plate loosening. I think that's possible. Just want to heat this area. Yeah. See it melting now? I just want it to run down here. Yes, what do you know? Well, that is just simply beautiful. It did like it was supposed to. That is so wonderful when that happens. It's not too often. But Yes, that was good. I hope you can see the difference of these two cups. One I sanded down using my lathe, just soft soldered a rod to this and just used a little sandpaper. And this one is, as you can see, still full of old solder. And the old silver plate is, yeah, bobbled and leaves a very nasty surface. So it's nice to work with something that is clean. This is going to be silver plated or gold plated anyway, so much better to work with. Well, now I think I got it. It has a very nice seal. Now it's just marking it up and soldering it. A good bind. Just count to 10 before you plunge it into water. I really like the feet to touch very precisely, because if you have this one, I haven't done anything yet with this, so you can see it touches a bit more on the back than it does on the front. And I'll just use a little sandpaper just to grind it down. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. Just place the sandpaper underneath, apply a little pressure, and just draw it. If you use sandpaper like this that has backing to it, I don't know what you call it. In Danish it's smørrelære. Then you get a surface that doesn't follow the plate perfectly, and you want that. The reason why I take the time to doing this is I really think that the feel of the key work is very important. You might say it's key. I like a very precise feel. I want an almost digital feel of the key work. So it has to stop really precise and not this spongy feeling of too thick cork or something like that. So if you don't have any play, you can use really thin thick cork to get under there and things will be just perfect. I've been doing a little sanding now, and I just spaced it with a 0.9mm tech cork just to get the spacing right between the foot and the plate here. And I hope you can get a sense of it is very good on this side, turning it around, and it should be equally good on this side, absolutely parallel. And the trick is, you're hitting a round surface, so I hope you can see that the foot of the key is not in a 90 degrees angle, it's more like maybe 120. The 0.9mm tech cork gives just about the right spacing or the right ventilation height on the key. I might need to give it just a little less or more air, but that comes in the tuning, and that's a much later process. I reused the old Conn springs, just sanded them down and re-hardened them, because an old spring can be a little unevenly hardened, and that makes it either brittle or too soft. But this, when I hardened it, I just use water, heat it up and plunge it into water. I know oil is best, but for thin material like this, water is just fine. The important thing is to take the edge of the hardening, and that is just heat treating the spring once more until it gets very nice and blue. I just use a flame to do that, and I have this special tool I use for screws. I just use that for blueing the flat springs as well, and it gets to be a much more responsive and well working spring, and that will last for years and years.